Brilliance Audio presents Curse of the Chosen by Richard Phillips, performed by Caitlin Davies. Kragan stood in the form-fitting leather armor that he had come to favor over the black robe worn when his body was human. He towered over Charna. During the months that Kragan's army had been on the march from southeastern Tal toward Endar, the Sheevorg had adjusted to his transformation from the horribly scarred Blaylock into the 7-foot-tall body with the bronze skin, golden eyes, and fanged mouth. He now shared the body of the strangely seductive primordial, Khalil. Now Charna, whom Kragan had placed in command of his army, stood by his side, looking through a far-glass at the distant foothills.
"I expect Queen Elon's army to come out of their mountain home to harass us well before we reach Endar,"
said Charna. Kragan studied her through his golden eyes, his gaze an ever-present symbol of Khalil's presence. The stiff breeze from the north whipped Charna's long black hair across her thick shoulders. Her bronze chainmail hung to her thighs, covering the padded leather armor beneath, as her left hand rested on the hilt of the warhammer strapped to her side. Lupine jaws jutted from an otherwise human-looking face, long canines dripping in anticipation of the hunt. Kragan understood just how impatient the commander was to engage the enemy they had marched so far to reach. It was a feeling he shared. He had waited 4 centuries to repay these people for isolating him from his homeland that lay beyond the Bringy Ocean. The time mist they had created a dozen leagues offshore surrounded the Endarian continent. Although ships could sail into and through the mist, centuries passed in the world outside during a single day for those within that fog. More importantly, the mist had disconnected Kragan from his primary source of magic. The Endarian time-shapers had left him a mere shadow of his former self. The memory of what they had done to him stoked a flame in Kragan's chest that would soon burn Endar to dust. There was a way to disperse this barrier, but that could only be done from within Endar Pass. Long ago, Landrel, an Endarian wielder of time-shaping and life-shifting magics, had penned a prophecy about Kragan, and Kragan had taken that scroll from the seer's dying hand. After he had examined its contents, the sorcerer wished he had killed the Endarian more slowly. The scroll of Landrel foretold many things that had now come to pass, including the destruction of the kingdom of Tal and the gathering of the army that now spread out below him. But what had vexed Kragan through all the centuries that he possessed the parchment was the description of a young woman prophesied to put an end to his quest for world domination. The scroll had even contained a detailed drawing of the witch. Though Kragan had known her face, he had not known her identity. That had changed months ago. Her name was Carol, and she was the daughter of High Lord Rafel, the warlord who had fled the kingdom of Tal at the head of his legion, taking more than 4,000 of his people across the Mogev Desert and into the lands beyond the Glacier Mountains. The knowledge that Carol had escaped before Kragan had conquered the kingdom in which she had resided infuriated him. But he would deal with the witch in due time. His thoughts returned to Charna's statement. "The Endarians will wait for the mountains to channel my army, so that they do not have to fight all of the horde at once," he said finally.
"They will keep the bulk of their army back to defend the entrance to Endar Pass,"
said Charna.
"Yes, but they will send their elite time mist warriors against us first. Do not take them lightly.